The phone rang, and as I heard her voice, I knew something was wrong. Her voice was cracking, her breathing was labored. She was in pain, and I could, even through the phone, see and hear the tears streaming down her face. She said, "I'm devastated, Maria. I'm lost. What are my options?" My boss says, "I am extremely valuable. I'm great at what I do, but I look too old." Her confidence was shattered. I wanted to ease her pain, but I felt helpless. She said to me, and I was shocked, she said, "I'm going to retire." She decided to retire. Now, here was a woman. Here was a woman that had years of experience in electrical and lighting. She had managed the major projects of Google, of Hewlett-Packard, of Facebook. And here she was, leaving the workforce, feeling forced out. Now, the void when she left was so deep, and after her departure, the company took months and months to recover from her leaving. At her next interview, the senior manager overturned the hiring manager's decision because he said, "She looks too old." Now, what words come to you when you see someone with gray hair? First words, be honest. Now, here are some of the words that have been described to me: irrelevant, old, tired, past their prime, out of energy, burnt out, useless, you don't matter, you are stuck in your ways, you're not valuable, we're going to set you aside, you're taking up space, let the younger generation take over. Now, here's another one commonly heard. Older workers don't want to learn anything new because they think they already know everything there is to know about their industry, and older people are set in their ways and cannot adapt to new technology. And one more. Older workers do not have as much energy and creativity as younger workers. Now, these are common ageist assumptions made about older workers. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a business meeting and treated someone with seasoning like that? Or have you perhaps witnessed a colleague dismissing a gray-haired colleague? And by the way, yes, I did say seasoning. And I refer to the X generation and older, not as old people, but as seasoned individuals. Think for a moment about your favorite home-cooked meal. And I know you can see it in your mind's eye right now. Imagine for a moment that you did not have the special recipes that have been passed down from generation to generation to generation. The food would be bland and boring. Seasoned people are a necessary ingredient to make our melting pot of generations utterly delicious. Now, likely, you are familiar with the term ageism. Ageism has been described as the modern form of prejudice and discrimination against older workers. Some people believe that ageism is tolerated more than other types of discrimination because society expects older workers to retire. We, the gray-haired generation, like many of you Gen X, Gen Z, and millennials, have been stereotyped. So how does it feel to be typecast as a stereotypical boomer? The Federal Age Discrimination Employment Act of 1967 protects workers 40 and older from personnel decisions based on age, including hiring, firing, layoffs, promotions, and demotions. Discrimination based on age is illegal in the United States. The question is, why does this age class even need to be protected? Ask yourself that. Why? Why does it need to be protected? Even though ageism is real in our society, For a moment, I would like you to consider that ageism is just a limiting belief, and beliefs can be changed. So let's debunk the myths and stop the bias towards the gray-haired generation. The most common myth about baby boomers is that we are all getting old and ready to retire. Now, as a matter of fact, many boomers are still working full-time and part-time jobs at an older age than ever before in history. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, 25% of the current workforce is a baby boomer. Yes, there are 41 million baby boomers in the United States workforce. In New Zealand, the old workers are 33% of the population. Now, Japan is in the process of moving the retirement age to 70 because it recognizes the value of older workers. Now, I am proud to stand here in front of you in all this grayness and say that I am a member of the baby boomer generation, those that were born between 1946 and 1964. Recognize we are vibrant, knowledgeable, experienced, and have a lot of living left to do. We are an untapped resource. So think about befriending one of your seasoned workers and glean as much knowledge as you can from them before they leave the workforce. Look at us through a different lens and recognize our value. Look at us as a classic car whose value increases year after year after year. Do you realize how much you would have to pay for the most valuable classic car? And that car, the most valuable car, was built in 1955. Great year, my birth year. And today is worth $184 million. I believe it might be time to raise my rates. By the way, the car is the 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR. So see us through the lens of value. Tap into the untapped resource that you may have set aside. Now, for those of you 55 and older, I want you to listen up. Getting older does create some challenges. However, combating those challenges to live a fully alive and vibrant life and contributing to society is possible if you make a choice and a commitment to do so. We know that great things come to those that have experienced life and are not afraid to step out into the limelight, regardless of their age. The opportunity for seasoned individuals is unlimited. The opportunity to recreate oneself is attainable. Now, do our tired bodies sometimes go on strike? Sometimes the knees creak and we get some aches and pains. Here's what I say. Get the oil can out, add some more lubricant, and keep moving. Keep moving and be willing to laugh at yourself while staying in motion. Now, for a moment, I would like you to consider that you are not too old. You are not burnt out, and you possess the energy and stamina to recreate yourself. You are not rotting away, just waiting to be returned to Earth's soil. Recognize your age and experience as an advantage and capitalize on it. Now, imagine for a moment, I have a lot of analogies about cooking. Imagine for a moment that Julia Childs never learned to cook at age 40. She started learning to cook at age 40. Or how about Johanna Quast, aged 86, the oldest gymnast in the Guinness World Book of Records in 2012. Now, she was quoted as saying, "Where there is movement, there is life." And she's still going strong at 96. Now, we are all familiar with the Golden Arches. So consider Ray Kroc, who at 52 founded McDonald's and built a booming enterprise. Even Ronald McDonald is a thriving senior citizen. Or consider the white-haired Colonel Sanders, who at 65 began franchising his chicken restaurants and built an empire. Now, I'd like to bring this closer to home. Consider my 90-year-old father-in-law, who continues to play golf 2 to 3 times a week and is a wealth of knowledge to young entrepreneurs that are willing to listen, and he shares his business knowledge. Or consider the woman who was divorced after 35 years of marriage. At 63, she was broken. She was defeated. She was lost. Navigating through this transition in her life was difficult. And on her personal journey, she discovered age was not a factor. She realized she could be a strong, independent businesswoman. Today, at 67, she has built a thriving new business and is the happiest and most confident she has ever been. She is quoted as saying, "I can do anything that I set my mind to. I have grown more as a human being, and I can succeed on my own. Retirement is not on the horizon." And I stand here before you celebrating my 5th career. If I count mom, wife, caretaker, and babysitter, make it 9. Now, my careers include Western Union Telegram delivery person. Now, some of you probably don't know what that is. And then corporate international sales director, IT consultant, realtor, and now transformational life coach. Now, through my career, I have experienced every level of ageism in the corporate world. I do not have several letters after my name from some prestigious university. I am a minority woman who survived discrimination and young age bias in the corporate world. I am an example of someone who has stayed in motion. And as is said in physics, an object in motion stays in motion. Age is not a factor in one's ability to reinvent and recreate oneself. It is a choice. So what happens as we approach the society-driven retirement age of 65? We are told repeatedly, it is time to retire. Take your Social Security and move on. This is what you've been working for. This is what you've been working towards, and it's time to take it easy. Now, the media suggests that our gray hair and wrinkles need to be treated so that we look younger. And what do? We buy into spending billions and billions of dollars, coloring our hair before every single job interview. My take is, let each one of the wrinkles shine. Let your gray hair shine. Age beautifully, handsomely, and gracefully. Each wrinkle is a new year of wisdom. And it's time to reimagine the possibilities for yourself. It's time to discover that inner passion that has been dormant for so long and get ready to ignite that flame once again. It's time to think back to the school playground and remember what you wanted to be when you grew up. What was it? Musician, actor, athlete, whatever it was. Now, physically, you may be limited to becoming a police officer or a fireman, but ask yourself this: what could I do to ignite that spark in this line of work? If you look at it, the opportunities are available to you. It's time to ignite the flame once again. So break the mold and show the naysayers what you are truly made of. Be proud of your age. And remember that the words that you tell yourself count. The language we tell ourselves will come to be. If you say you are old and tired, you're going to begin to act old and tired. I remember my 70-year-old uncle who said to me, "I'm 70, it's time to die." He was gone within a matter of 2 years. So if you continue to tell yourself you're old, you will start acting old. Because what you're doing is you're reinforcing the belief system in your brain. Now, here are 3 things that I would like you to consider practicing. Number 1, maintain a positive attitude about your age and the way you look. 90% of what happens to you in your life is your attitude. And number 2, just like you can teach an old dog new tricks, you can learn new skills. Learning a new skill and repeating that skill over and over and over builds new neural pathways in the brain. So stretch yourself to learn something new. And number 3, create a new narrative for yourself. Write your own story where you are the actor, the writer, the producer, and director, and everything that you write comes to be. Age is simply a number, and it doesn't define you unless you define yourself by your age. Ageism is a form of discrimination. It needs to stop. We, the older generation, are vibrant, knowledgeable, and have a lot of living left to do. We are an untapped resource. Consider viewing people with gray hair and wrinkles through a different lens, a lens filled with creativity, color, motion, and experience. We are the Google of times past. All you need to do is ask. We have something to offer. We have more overall life satisfaction. We have creativity in this gray hair. We have experience in this gray hair. Stand proud. Wear your gray hair with power. Stop saying, I am too old. We are wisdom warriors. Age does not define you. It is just a number that has little impact on what you can accomplish. The world needs experienced, mature, and wise people to solve its problems. And the world needs young, fresh minds to innovate. Simply stated, we all need each other and need multi-generational teams. Don't discount me because of my gray hair, and don't discount us because of our gray hair. Thank you.